back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made this decorative ladder right behind me using Dollar Tree products. And let me tell you guys, I am so proud of how this thing turned out. It is gorgeous. Now you don't have to use the exact products that I used. You could go to a hardware store and buy some pieces of wood, but like I said, this is specifically Dollar Tree products. And if you haven't seen this tutorial already, the cube organizers you actually see behind me are from Dollar Tree products as well. So everything in this corner that looks like pieces of furniture, they were made using Dollar Tree items. If you're interested in the cube organizer DIY, I will link it down below for you guys. But if you guys want to see more Dollar Tree furniture DIYs, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get it to 5,000 thumbs up. Every thumbs up really helps out my channel, so if you like it, give it a like. So let me share with you guys just how I made this thing. So I started off with 14 rolling pins from Dollar Tree. Now it depends how big you want this to be. I decided to go with 14, and what I did before doing anything, I sanded them down. But I will tell you this, it's not necessarily necessary to sand them down because the rolling pins are already so smooth. They kind of take paint pretty well. Sometimes you run into a few rolling pins that don't take paint necessarily the best, so it's just best to sand them down beforehand. Once you have them sanded down, it's time to attach them together. Now I'm using wood glue because it's the easiest to use, Gorilla wood glue specifically, which I like a lot. I attach 4 rolling pins to each other, creating 2 of these sets. This will be the sides of the ladder. Now I've never tried to put a nail or screw through any of these, but I feel like it is possible. You might want to get a piece to mess around with it. If that's something you decide to do, obviously it will be way more secure if you use nails or a screw. So keep that in mind. If that's an option you want to look into, go ahead, buy a rolling pin and kind of just practice on it and see if the wood splits. I waited 24 hours for the glue to completely dry. I didn't want this thing to break apart on me once I picked it up. Once I did pick it up, it was nice and secure. Now I go back with 4 more rolling pins and I glue them in between to create the steps. Now you don't really want to attach those rolling pins wherever 2 rolling pins meet on the sides. It's just not going to adhere the best. You are going to have some gaps between the rolling pins just because of the way it's, you know, made. And what I suggest doing then is using hot glue. Now you use the wood glue initially and then just use some hot glue to make sure that the rolling pin doesn't roll around. It's a little hard for it to stay in place. You can use items to kind of make it stay in place, but the hot glue makes sure it doesn't roll away anywhere, and it also helps with adding some more security to your ladder. Again, I waited 24 hours for everything to completely dry, and it's really important that you wait that time. And then I start to paint it. I used MinWax dark walnut paint. Now I did not wear gloves. Let me tell you why. I just forgot. I was painting it, and then honestly, like by the time I flipped the ladder over, I realized, you know what? I'm not wearing gloves. So make sure you wear some rubber gloves, latex gloves if you don't want to stain your skin, and if you don't want to wear gloves, make sure you have something on hand that's going to take it out, because regular like hand soap, it doesn't really do the job unless you wash it right away. I ended up having to use some Goo Gone, which isn't the safest. Don't do it. But I did. To paint my ladder with the stain, I used a dishcloth that I got from Dollar Tree, and I prefer to use pieces of fabric when I'm staining wood just because it's easier and it doesn't like go on too harsh. I rather start with a light coat to make sure it's what I want, and then if I want it to be darker, I just work my way up to it. And I only did 1 coat on both the front and the back. Now this is something that I ran into. I ended up getting some wood glue on certain spots of the rolling pins, so the stain didn't adhere to those areas. And at first I was like, you know, I'm just gonna cover it up with some acrylic paint because I know acrylic paint would adhere well to that area. But then I decided, hey, I like it. It makes it look more rustic. It makes it look more aged. So I'm kind of happy that I accidentally got glue on the sides of the pins. It gives it some character. Now for the paint, I waited overnight for it to dry, so about 12 hours from when I painted it to when I did the next step, and the paint was completely dry. They do say to wait about 24 hours, but I feel like because I did 1 coat, I didn't have to wait as long. Now you can leave your ladder at just this, but I wanted to spruce it up a little bit more, so I used some Nautical Rope from Dollar Tree. And what I did, initially I just cut out some pieces of rope and I wrapped it around the ends of the steps on the ladder. So both ends on each rolling pin that created the steps of the ladder, and I just used hot glue to do this. And though it makes it more decorative, it also helps, again, the ladder become a little bit more durable because you're adding more glue to it, honestly. And then I decided near those steps, on the sides of the ladder that I would take some nautical rope and I would just kind of make a little bit of a crisscross type of pattern on each side near the steps. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can see what I'm doing. Now I didn't wrap it around because I felt like if I wrapped it around, I would have to wrap it around multiple times and then the crisscross would just kind of get too thick. So I cut up pieces of rope and then on the back of the ladder, I glued them. So I just had one piece and then another piece. So I'm creating a crisscross on the front and the back of the ladder. And that was it for the ladder. I only spent $15 in Dollar Tree products, 14 rolling pins and the nautical rope. But remember, you might have to buy the wood glue or you might have to buy some screws or wood stain. But these items can always be used in other projects. I barely used any of the wood stain. I have a lot of wood stain left over, so I got a lot of things to start staining. Now because I was trying to recreate a certain ladder I saw on Google Images, I decided to decorate it in the same way. I attached a wreath to the very top step and I used zip ties to do this. I mean, you could nail a nail through this probably and get a wreath that way, but I just put zip ties through the wreath and then just tied it onto the top ladder that way. In the picture I saw, there's this little basket with lemons. So I got this wire basket from Dollar Tree. I took the handle off of it and then I zip tied that to the step as well. Now I suggest getting black zip ties, but I only had clear zip ties on hand. So to cover the zip tie, I ended up adding that right there. It's just from Dollar Tree. It's just kind of like a hanging decor piece. I was able to cover up the zip tie using that. Now at the very bottom in the picture that I saw, there's a galvanized bucket. I decided to add just a decorative blanket. I think that's what people usually put on these things, but really it is a placemat that I got for $2.47 at Walmart. Oh yeah, and the lemons inside of there, they're fake lemons. I got them at Walmart. There's 8 in a pack and it cost me around $2.97. And that's how I created this Dollar Tree decorative ladder. I absolutely love it and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Remember, you don't always have to do exactly what I did. If you have a smaller budget or a larger budget, you can make this either smaller or bigger. You can go to a hardware store and get inexpensive wood and nail everything together if you wanted to. Hopefully this just gives you some inspiration. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and give it a thumbs up if you want to see more Dollar Tree furniture DIYs. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye. P.S. I'm wearing pajamas while filming this and check these pajamas out. Nickelodeon pajamas. The best. Walmart, $9.97. Bye.